I grew up in Boston, and I moved to Minnesota last year to go to graduate school. So I've been photographing myself and my family for quite a while, and that's the work that's in this show. So this photograph I've been taking of my cousin and I with our hair braided together, and I did the first photograph in 2004, and since then I have photographed her and I together each time that I visit home again. And it's really interesting to see just how much she's changed and to think about our connection to one another. This is a little miniature houses that are my grandmother's that she usually puts around the little miniature Christmas tree. And I found, and I often find things in my grandparents' house, and they sort of spark some kind of inspiration for me to make a photograph.
Well, my name is Erin Hernsberger, and I am from the United States, originally from Texas. I am currently getting my MFA at the University of Minnesota in photography, and I have some background in philosophy and also in art education. All of my work really begins with my interest in the body. In this particular work, I was interested in the relationship between food and the body, and how this alternative version of food, this molded state, can be both disgusting and beautiful at the same time. They're meant to be shown together as a triptych, and they're also meant to be give an illusion of space, in that you're not sure if it's super close up or very far away.
Right.
They resemble topographical landscape. They were actually taken with a macro lens, so they were very, very close up. So I'm interested in this micro-macro way of looking at this organic matter. The title, All Flesh is Grass, it's a quote from the Bible, from the Old Testament, and I really liked it because it sort of, to me, brings together the idea of death and life are the same thing, and the idea of decay also brings forth the idea of life, where the mold is actually growing. It's actually this very verdant thing instead of this dead thing. And it also brings reference to the idea of the body. The flesh of the fruit and the flesh of the body is actually all the same thing, we're all organic matter.
My name is Hoolihan. I am an artist from Minneapolis, Minnesota, and I'm part of this show here in Turku with a group of other former classmates from the graduate school in the photography department. And I was fortunate enough to come to Finland for 10 days and see the opening of the show, attend the opening, and kind of explore the city of Turku, and then next I'll be going to Helsinki. So I mainly shoot still photography. Over the past year and a half, 2 years, I started to shoot more Super 8 film. And I was actually just talking to someone last night about this. For my whole life too, I'm a musician. I've been writing music and creating musical compositions. And I think the one thing that has been drawing me to film, motion picture film, is how both music and films kind of happen throughout time. They kind of reveal themselves through time. And so I think when I was editing it together, I was kind of putting the tones and the emotions I was going for the same way I would be constructing a song. And so I feel like I found this great kind of in between the still photograph and a musical composition in this silent film. And so that's what I've been exploring a lot lately. But I still go back and forth. I shoot a lot of still photos too. For the past, I would say, 10 years in Minneapolis, I always had this one quiet space in the city, which was Lakewood Cemetery, which is one of the oldest areas in town, I think from the 1870s, which for Minnesota, that's very old. And I always found you could really get lost in there, and it's very large. After a while, you stop hearing the sounds of the cars, and I've been taking photos in there, but then about 2 years ago there was a Minneapolis film project, and I proposed an idea that I would shoot a silent film celebrating Lakewood Cemetery the way I saw it and the way I react to it, and I wanted to keep it silent. So I would go in there with a handheld Super 8 camera and just try to kind of react to whatever caught my eye. And after a while, I really noticed, spending a lot of time in there, that there was this incredible wildlife that existed in the city inside there, because I feel like over the years they've discovered this is a safe place for them. So I would see deer, Canadian geese. I've seen a fox in there, many different kinds of birds, and so after a while it became less about the headstones in the cemetery, more about how this place was really teeming with life, and I was really interested in that idea. Also too, with how cemeteries, I think, in the past are always done in this very kind of black and white, dark way, and I was kind of wanted to take it in a different direction and celebrate kind of the cycle of life, and how to me there was just all these vibrations and this wonderful kind of life happening everywhere around you. And then I started seeing the sculptures and the headstones as almost like a sculpture part. Yeah, so I was just trying to animate it too, in a way, by really playing with time, compressing it and stretching it. So using the Super 8 camera to shoot time lapse of things, and then also shooting things in slow motion and kind of playing with it too, so that your idea of time was kind of turned upside down. Because that's the way I felt entering the gates of the cemetery, was that your day-to-day kind of rigid clock of living in the city changed in this kind of really beautiful way, where I was thinking about centuries at a time or decades at a time. So really playing with time, I think, was another meaning.